A foreign investor has quietly purchased 9 oceanfront lots in Malibu for $65 million following the January wildfires. The investor reportedly assembled a team to track down the owners because the desirable sites weren't publicly listed. Alright, let's go into this. Let's see what we got going. So regular families lose their homes and billionaires treat it like monopoly. Yeah, that's boardwalk essentially. This wasn't just a fire, it was a calculated clearance. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make wealth. Ah, yes, the wildfire that only hit the oceanfront properties. And some people still think this was wildfires. Foreign investor, red flag. Things that let you know it was done on purpose, savage. I'm about to look into this in a second. I gotta find me an article or something. Hold on. All right, one more. Goodness. Crazy, this guy is capitalizing on other people's misfortune. Ain't no way they just left that shit like that and people just driving by. All right, so let's go see what's going on with this. This is textbook evil that the elites are all about. Demo was in Hawaii. All right, foreign investor secretly snaps up $65 million in iconic Malibu real estate destroyed by wildfires. This is on realtor.com. The coastline of Malibu, California, along the Pacific Coast Highway is undergoing a complete transformation after the wildfires in January ripped through miles of beachfront homes, reducing many to ash. Now, a foreign investor has been secretly scooping up many of the burned lots on the oceanfront side of the PCH, with the vision of rebuilding the mansions that dotted the coastline in the iconic beach town. Once this beach is built back and it's all brand new construction, I think it's going to be a very desirable spot for a lot of wealthy people to try to buy a beach house. As if they didn't already exist, these houses have probably been passed down in families since before they were worth $1 million. Now they're worth all this capital and it gets burnt down for you to what? Build mansions to sell to people. Really. Probably starting in the multitudes of millions. Malibu was such a charming beach town, and all the homes that were on La Costa Beach had so much character. They've been there for years on years. And you could just tell all the fun parties that people used to have, and for it all to just be gone and wiped out down to the sand is heartbreaking. The luxury real estate agent and his colleague Alex Howe have been working with the investor who has so far purchased 9 lots worth more than $65 million, but the process isn't random. Currently, there are dozens of empty properties listed for sale on realtor.com all along the beach, but this investor wanted a common characteristic among the properties. He started building a team on his end of expediters, architects, and kind of figured out what the best size lots and frontage would be to build on to eventually resell. So you don't think he did that before the burning down of said place? Like, guys, come on now. And based on their formula, we were only acquiring lots that were 40 plus feet of frontage. Now, if we pay attention here, this is it all burnt up right here, right? Guys, this shit did not catch on fire. The foreign investor, whose identity has not been disclosed, knows his vision of a new Malibu will take years, but Littlefield explains his client is pleased with the prime real estate he's purchased. They're not a big developer. That's not what these guys do. They actually have true intentions to really make Malibu great again. Make Malibu great again. What does that sound like to y'all, guys? And they're taking a very huge risk, explains Littlefield. I think we've spent almost $100 million on land, and Malibu is extremely unpredictable. Littlefield's client purchased 8 beachfront properties on La Costa Beach and 1 property on Carbon Beach, also known as Billionaire's Beach. You have Rick Caruso, who owns a lot on La Costa. Candy Spelling owns a lot on La Costa. Paris Hilton along with them. Once this stretch is rebuilt, it will be the only beach in one of the most famous places in the world with entirely brand new beachfront homes. This was their plan all along. That's why they can speak about it like this. That kind of rarity just doesn't exist anywhere else in the United States. Yeah, because shit already exists there, The largest lot Littlefield acquired is 90 feet wide, which was purchased for $13.8 million. Another property, an 80-foot wide lot that once had an in-ground pool, was bought for $12.8 million. He can technically rebuild that pool, which is extremely rare to have a beachfront house with a full-size pool. Other purchase properties vary in size from 63 feet to the minimum 40-foot wide lot the developer was looking for. This makes a huge difference if they're rebuilding a house and they want to hit a certain number for them to sell a $25 million home. Right. That would have been on the market for a few $1 million right now because the market's fucked. And that was probably bought way long ago for $400,000 when in like fucking 1980 or some shit. The investor doesn't anticipate breaking ground for at least 18 more months as the team gathers all the necessary permits. Guys, I want y'all to look at before and after of this place, man. Okay? The Palisades all burnt the fuck up, okay? Which is like the inland right before this, okay? Malibu, this is what it looked like, though. Specifically where he's buying. This shit is burnt to the fucking ground. This is it burnt up too, if I'm not mistaken, right here. This is what that looked like. Like, come on, guys. Look at this. It's barren. This is what it used to look like right here. What y'all think about this one, man?